Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to, well, welcome back to not the most appropriate way of phrasing this, but we do have another Below Decks post to go through on this fine Thursday evening. I almost said Friday. Yeah, so it's a Radcore Below Decks, which makes sense. Basically, if you didn't know, they're not working on Deep Rock at the moment. There's not even like one guy. They're just all in on Radcore right now, and that's the entire point. Aside from the maintenance period, the next one will be in March, which means I think that they start working on it in March, and then that update will get out at some point in March. Until that time, we're stuck with, well, not much. But we do have Aaron, our favourite content writer, getting in behind the scenes, digging up some stuff, making these posts. I'm happy about that. I personally felt there was a long wait between these two, but at the same time, they didn't. The next one didn't need to be instantaneous. It has been a month and a half though, but obviously there's been stuff in between. We've gotten the entire maintenance update and seen what that is, and actually got our hands on it. So I think we should be happy where we're at, and it's good that they have sort of I guess now that they've shifted back to working purely on Roadcore. It's good that they got a Below Decks out pretty quickly into that period of them now working on Roadcore and not working on Deep Rock. And it's actually to do with sound design, which is interesting, obviously, for us, having actually interviewed the previous sound designer. We get sort of this post almost works as an introduction to the new sound designer. There's even some clips in it. Now, I want to address some things to do with these posts and these videos. I'm going to read it verbatim. But I will still probably add in sort of little inflections or elaborations where I see fit, and obviously give my opinion on the whole piece. Now, sort of address my feelings on that matter. I definitely get the impression that there's a chance that some people at GoShip wouldn't be over the moon about me just reading the post verbatim, but frankly, I don't see exactly what else I can do. There is other ways I can do this. I can sort of go through the post and sort of extract what's good about it, not good about it, what's informative about it, because it's a very well written piece, and I want to give credit to Aaron for that. And basically what I'm saying is I don't think they do have a problem with it, but if anyone at GoShip has any kind of issue with how we do anything that we do, I would encourage them. I would encourage you to let us know, because our only intention is to respect this fantastic IP that you've created, and if you have any issue, then we want to know. But as far as I know, it's fine to just do what I'm going to do. And by the way, I think it's important because, frankly, I do think this needs some attention. If I were to show you how many sort of likes and comments this has, it's sort of roughly kind of what we get on our videos, which means I should hopefully be doing some work and sort of sharing this by making this video, because frankly, I think people need to see this stuff. I think Aaron's been brought on to ensure that this open development process is able to go ahead in a really focused manner, so that there's someone that can actually focus on that and actually deliver regular pieces of information in form of posts like these. And I feel like it wouldn't be fair if they were not seen or heard by a lot of people. And that's one of the reasons why I want to read them out, because then people can just listen to them as well. As a way of sort of absorbing the information. But yeah, we're going to go through everything in this post. There's some clips, there's some images that I'm going to cover too. And also, like I said, it's to do with sound design, specific sound design of whatever the hell this thing is, which obviously, due to the shared art style, looks like something that could be in Deep Rock. Maybe it will be in Season 5. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I'm going to get into the post. This is Below Decks at GoShip, Harvesting Sound, or Hardening Sound for Roadcore. Although I don't think I'm going to put that in the title. I think it's just going to be hard. Well, I might do. Hello, miners. Here's some more behind-the-scenes stuff for you. Everything here is a work in progress. Yep. This is what we've been working on. Recordings for Roadcore. Okay, hold on. Names. So these names. I believe this is pronounced Joachim. If it's not, please, if anyone can let me know. I want to respect these people as much as I possibly can. But I don't inherently know the pronunciation for these names. They're not. They're new to me. They're strange. They're sort of strange to me. Stranger names. I don't know exactly how to pronounce them, but I want to do my best. And my only intention is to respect these people, especially him as our new sound designer. It's a rainy Tuesday in November, and Joachim is harvesting sound. We're on a field trip today, north of Copenhagen at the Technical University of Denmark. Kristen Oland, senior technical artist at Ghost Ship Games, is a member of a glider hobby club that has their workshop on the university campus. He's brought Ghost Ship sound designer Joachim Nyholm out to tinker with their tools and heavy machinery and record a library of sound samples he can use for Radcore. So, Joachim, first of all, Godspeed to you as our new sound designer. Trolls gave you his blessing in the interview that we did with him, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job if the team trusts you. Joachim is here to explore, to collect samples, and see how the equipment on site might help build out Radcore's sonic landscape. It's not about how any of these machines function, only what noises they can make. I always like this stuff. There was a lot of stuff that 343 did around the time before Halo Infinite was fully revealed. They did a lot of stuff to do with sort of collecting sounds, and it was quite interesting. I do like this kind of thing. I think it's pretty cool. These noises won't be transferred one for one into Radcore. Instead, they'll form the building blocks of new sound profiles, twisted, modulated, and layered to create the creaks of unfamiliar machines or alien howls. We're alone in the workshop. The concrete floor's greasy sheen reflects the industrial lights overhead. Dusty glider wings are stacked on shelves along the walls. It's silent here, save for the low hum of the ventilation system. This is a nice big hall. Good acoustics here. Good thing I brought my death whistles, Joachim says. He's unpacking a bag full of sound recording equipment, which includes this small collection of 3D printed Aztec death whistles. It's an interesting collection to have. He finds an old garden tractor in a corner and yanks on the spring-loaded gear shifter, or a spring-loaded ripper, which gives off a heavy funk and a resonating thwang, or twang. Very nice. We can use this, he says to himself. Sound hunt is on. We have Joachim on the right and Kristen on the left, and he's recording. Kristen throwing sparks with an angle grinder. This is Joachim here, our new sound designer. Hello, Joachim. How are you doing? Yeah, it's cool to see this kind of thing. This is the kind of thing they do, and preparing to sort of design sounds and whatnot. And I feel like just Radcore having its own very distinct soundscape is definitely something I want to see. It's why I especially want to see new music for Radcore. I can't imagine them not reusing some of Deep Rock's music, but a new soundtrack would be, I think, is very likely, and I would love to see it. A sonic scavenger hunt. Joachim flits around. Flits? Yeah, flits. I keep seeing it. For some reason, I feel like I can see an extra L. Joachim flits around the machine shop, methodical and curious, surveying the machinery and tools at his disposal. He's wearing a battered set of studio headphones plugged into a Mix Pre 6 audio recorder strapped around his waist. He's also got another handheld recorder in a holster, a seismic geophone, and a directional shotgun mic on a pistol grip. Black AV cables drape across his limbs and torso, swinging at his ankles as he moves. He and Kristen start playing with an old hydraulic press. The machine's got a small leak and sprays out a puff of musty lubricant every time Kristen works its levers. Joachim presses his microphone closer, getting greasy dew on its foam cover so he can capture the metallic clunks and leaky squelch. His eyes widen in fascination. This is fantastic. We move over to an industrial lathe, a Dutch-made Hembroek DR1. It's a 1-ton iron brute, older than anyone in the room. Joachim eyes it with a musician's interest, as though this hulking machine was some fine instrument. He nudges his microphone into the machine's maintenance panel and asks Kristen to start the motor. Don't get your cables or your arm caught in this thing, because it will eat both of them, Kristen warns. The lathe's motors chug into action, and Joachim records several cycles of it powering up, running at speed, and powering down. I leave the room to check my phone. By the time I'm back, Kristen and Joachim are setting up an arc welding rig. Kristen hands a heavy welding mask to Joachim and sets a handheld one on the table. Maybe stand a bit further away for this one. I don't look directly at the torch, but I need you to watch in case anything around us sets on fire, he says, pulling on a pair of heavy gloves. Sparks pour onto the floor and the workshop walls glow blue, with the entire room buzzing with the welding torch's wicked crackle. Yeah, dangerous activities, all for the pursuit of sound. So yes, hats off to our boys for putting their lives on the line for this wonderful work. That's sort of the end of the sort of story segment, which, by the way, Aaron, you're really good at this stuff. Also, in case you're watching, I just want you to know, you're really good at sort of this writing, I guess, biographical sort of anecdotes. It really worked. It captured sort of the attitude and approach that Joachim's taking really well, and it's actually really exciting to see. And it gives me a lot of trust in Joachim as well, in terms of creating the sound design for Radcore and Deep Rock going forward. But now we get into the more technical stuff, the philosophy of sound design and things like that, which obviously we got a lot of that out of Trolls when we interviewed him, but sort of getting it from Aaron and from Joachim here, different perspective, although there's a lot of shared principles, I think. Not the sounds we know, but the sounds we expect. Sound design, especially in video games, isn't necessarily about realism. Instead, it's about designing to meet people's expectations. Take an example. Think of unsheathing a sword. In real life, drawing a sword from a scabbard doesn't make much noise at all. When you see it in a movie or a game, your brain automatically expects the sharp shing sound effect. If that's not there, it sounds wrong, like it's missing something. As Joachim explains, this same principle applies to most noises in a video game. Everything from mining equipment to a pocket pistol needs to sound more dramatic, more complex, more satisfying than its real-life counterparts. As he says, a cool sound is often built up from a lot of different noises. When you're designing for some complex machinery, for example, it's rare that a real-life sound actually has all the elements you need, Joachim says. If we want a full sound profile that's got low, heavy notes, crisp detail and a bit of musicality, we need to find those noises in different places. It's true. I mean, you think about sort of the heavy machinery that I guess the heavy machinery that they make is based on. If you were to actually look at that, the sounds they make would be a lot more, I guess, hollow and one-dimensional. And in the video game, you expect sounds to have a really deep, layered feel to them, so that extends both to like the forefront and the very back end of like pitch, like really low like sounds that sort of envelop the whole soundscape at once, but also really pronounced sounds, quite high pitched sounds. You expect a lot of variety from pretty much every given sound, and as it says, it's his job, Joachim's job, to fold in these extra layers of sonic depth. Let's put this into action. Down below is a mock-up for an extraction scoop machine in Radcore. To make this single machine sound profile, Joachim used 8 different recordings from the day's field trip, plus a recording of a roller coaster, all modified and layered together. First, here are the samples on their own with some textures and twists applied. So yes, I will just play this as it is. I obviously need to actually add in an audio capture. Actually, I think I have it. Hold on. Apparently not. Hold on a minute. Apologies for this. So yeah, what I liked about that was how it says they only applied a few textures and twists, and it really impresses me how good those sounds already sound, which gives me a lot of trust in Joachim. But obviously we do have the actual updated version, well, not updated, and same samples synchronized with this new machine. See if you can hear how things like a filing cabinet, roller coaster, and garage door become part of this extraction scoop sound profile. So yeah, extraction scoop. That's what this is, I guess. And this would be on their YouTube channel, of course, if you wanted to watch it yourself. But I think this is sort of just a looping one, but so I think I only need to play it once. Just sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, that looks and sounds finished, like in a vacuum. This piece of equipment and sound associated with it sounds just absolutely fantastic, and it gives me so much faith in this guy. I already had faith. He had Charles's blessing. He was, picked, I assumed, by the higher ups like Mikkel and Soren. I'm not sure exactly who, but Joachim was hired by Ghost Ship, and that means Ghost Ship trusts him, and that means I trust him. But still, basically proof of concept that he's a good sound designer here, and it's working. I trust him already, like quite a bit. It's done a great job with just these sounds alone. Shaping the sounds of Radcore. When we talk about sound design, it's often a game soundtrack, voice acting, or weapon effects that first come to mind. Yes, it is. But every little sound effect plays a part in this orchestra, influencing how you move around, what you interact with, and how you feel as you play. For a game like Radcore, even a common piece of mining machinery plays an important role. There's talk of some horror elements in Radcore, so I want to make the machinery sound a bit rusty and neglected, somehow a little creepy. Joachim says. The one problem is, this workshop is full of tools people actually use. They're all in good condition. I want to find some rusty stuff, or figure out a way to make things that sound more run down. Throughout the day, Joachim's collected sounds from a welding torch, an industrial lathe, a garage door, scrap metal, a filing cabinet, a mechanical can crusher, a soda, an angle grinder, a bandsaw, a tube lamp, a garage door, a spring-loaded garage lock, a trash can, a compressed air hose, a box cutter, a pipe wrench, a little tractor, a hand drill, and a trailer winch. All told, he heads home with 4.9 gigabytes of raw audio, recorded just a few seconds at a time. The right modulations, twists, and layering, these everyday noises will become larger than life. Sounds you hear every day turn into machines and creatures you've never heard before, providing the essential element that makes a game immersive and engaging. In that sense, sound design allows the familiar to become fantasy. There you go. And I think that was a really cool sort of just insight into the sound design process, especially when it comes to sort of field trip sound design, which is a very common practice for a lot of game studios. They will go out and sort of find things and record them. That includes machinery, like animals, everyday sounds, even things they find in the home. It's all really good stuff. And obviously, it's very gratifying to see the same thing going on at Ghost Ship and for it to be done so enthusiastically, and for the turnaround on the actual recordings being turned into something that sounds like it could be used in game, being so quick and so comprehensive. Look how good that stuff sounded. It really does fill me with a lot of hope and trust and faith and just good feelings about Radcore that I already had. But yeah, it's just builds excitement, and it's some really like just nice insight, just pleasant insight into the process. And I'm really interested to see more. So in terms of suggestions, obviously I would recommend that you pop it in these comments, not our comments. But if I were to offer a suggestion, I'd say anything sort of well, just for the next one in general, just for the next Below Decks, something very much so based in game in terms of designing in-game systems, possibly something to do with the progression or the upgrades. I think the upgrades is something that a lot of people are interested in, so I definitely want to do that at some point, even if it's not the next one. Anyway, yeah, so I want to thank Aaron, of course. Well, I want to thank everyone at Ghost Ship, as usual. But I want to thank Aaron and Joachim for this article. It was a really interesting read. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to it as well. So I want to thank everyone as well for watching. So if you enjoyed this, please make sure to like, subscribe. And if you want to stay on top of everything to do with Deep Rock and Radcore, of course, then click the bell as well. It'll help you, it'll help me, and we'll all dance together until the sun dies. All right, that's it. See you next time.